on talk with the man who loves you. I told him you called and said goodbye. We sat at the kitchen table with the lights turned off. He said he had nowhere to go and he cried. I told the man who loves you that he could not stay. He would have to go and leave me alone. He would not leave, he would not let go of his love. He kept me up at night with his screams and moans. I've lived with the man who loves you, lived with him these years. If you lived with the man who loves you, would you have washed away his tears? I've lived with the man who loves you, lived with him these years. If you lived with the man who loves you, would you have washed away his tears? Would you have washed away his tears? Would you have washed away his tears? He paced the floor and beat the walls with his fists. I told him I was sorry, but I had to go on with my life. He would not leave, I could not cast him to the street. I wanted to kill him, but his blood was mine. I put him to sleep and drugged him in a secret chamber. There in the dark, I locked him away. Sometimes he'll dream of you and awaken from his sleep. His tortured screams will tear at me through the night. I buried alive the man who loves you, buried him deep inside. If you buried the man who loves you, would he keep you up at night? I buried alive the man who loves you, buried him deep inside. If you buried the man who loves you, would he keep you up at night? Would he keep you up at night? Would he keep you up at night? As he smiled and rang the cash register behind the counter at the Y, he read the names and the faces of the customers, deciding should they live or die. He imagined his black leather hand striking their pathetic flesh. Then, knowing the feeling of command, his voice would tell the time of death. He was a closet Nazi down at the Y. He was a closet Nazi working part-time. Hitler came to him at night. He was a closet Nazi down at the Y. He was a closet Nazi working part-time, patiently awaiting the word from his Almighty. He made faces of hate and condemnation at himself in the bathroom mirror. He believed in violent concentration to shake off his feelings of fear. He threw toy fighter planes viciously at the war map on his bedroom wall. Screaming Heil Hitler emphatically, he watched the chosen cities fall. Hitler came to him at night. He was a closet Nazi down at the Y. He was a closet Nazi working part-time, patiently waiting the word from his almighty. His nightly masquerade, slipping on his armband and glue on a mustache. For years he waged his bloody little war, till his dreams turned to ash. The headline read, "One dead." In the fire that burned the synagogue to the ground, it said he'd lived a secret life. Even his mother didn't know of what they'd found. He was a closet Nazi down at the Y. He was a closet Nazi working part-time. Hitler came to him at night. He was a closet Nazi down at the Y. He was a closet Nazi working part-time, eternally waiting at the gate of his almighty. It's lines filled with lovers and friends. Sometimes she goes to the library and walks through the pages with them. Amy, she wants to marry a prince clad in velvet and gold. But Amy, she lives in a small gray house with her mother, who is growing old. Oh, Amy, mother's calling. Oh, Amy, where are you today? Amy, she lives in her diary. She's at the ballroom by 10, wearing the finest of finery, escorted by 2 gentlemen. Softly she sways to the symphony of musical boxes she plays. But Amy, she lives in a small gray house with her mother, who is still growing old. Amy, she lives in her diary. A princess looks out from her mirror, sad sadly she sits in the nursery, not seeing the wrinkles or tears. Amy, she wants to marry a prince clad in velvet and gold, but Amy still lives in a small gray house with her mother, who is now very old.